In the darkest hours of the Second World War, when the shadow of the swastika fell long across Europe, legends were forged not in the roar of battle, but in the silence of the forests. This is the story of men who became ghosts. Their names whispered only in the rustling leaves of the Ardennes. They were Operation Green Flame. In the dense and forgiving woods near the French-Belgian border, a new kind of soldier was born. These weren't men from parade grounds or formal academies. They were farmers, teachers, and factory workers, united by a singular, burning purpose: to reclaim their homeland. Their training was brutal and clandestine. They learned to move without a sound, to read the forest like a map, and to turn everyday objects into instruments of sabotage. As one survivor later recalled, "We were taught that silence was our greatest weapon, and the night our only true ally. To be seen was to die." Their mission was audacious: to cripple the German war machine from within. Operating in near total isolation, the men of Green Flame became masters of disruption. Under the cloak of darkness, they would slip out of their hidden encampments. Railway lines, vital for moving German troops and supplies, were their primary targets. With precision and courage, they would plant charges, melting into the woods just moments before a deafening explosion would tear through the steel tracks, sending German supply trains careening into the ravines. Communication was the nervous system of the German army, and Green Flame aimed to sever it completely. They scaled telephone poles in freezing rain, snipping wires and cutting off command posts from their units. Each cut line was a victory, sowing confusion and paranoia among the occupying forces. A German officer's report from the time noted, "We are fighting phantoms. The partisans strike and vanish. Our lines are cut, our patrols ambushed. It is as if the forest itself has declared war on us." The unit's effectiveness was rooted in its secrecy. They moved like wraiths, their identities known only to each other. Every shadow could hide a friend or a foe. Every rustle in the undergrowth could signal an approaching German patrol or a returning comrade. The psychological toll was immense. As one member wrote in a hidden journal, "We live with fear as a constant companion. Not fear of death, but fear of failure." But their greatest triumphs were also their most dangerous. Green Flame began targeting high-value German officers, disrupting the chain of command with daring, close-quarters assassinations. These missions were meticulously planned, often relying on a single moment of opportunity. The risk was absolute. One such operation, the removal of a notorious SS colonel, sent shockwaves through the German command, forcing them to divert precious resources to hunt the saboteurs. As the Allied invasion of Normandy approached, the activities of Green Flame intensified. Their campaign of sabotage reached a fever pitch. By destroying bridges and derailing troop transports, they successfully delayed crucial German reinforcements heading to the coast. These delays, though measured in hours and days, were invaluable. They bought Allied soldiers on the beaches of Normandy precious time that was paid for with the courage of a few dozen men hidden deep in the Ardennes forest. They had no way of knowing the full impact of their actions, but they fought on, fueled by hope and sheer determination. The Germans, enraged and desperate, unleashed elite SS units to eradicate the terrorists in the forest. The hunters became the hunted. The vast woods that had once been their sanctuary now felt like a closing trap. German patrols, equipped with dogs and expert trackers, combed the area relentlessly, one by one. Their secret caches were discovered, their contacts captured. The net was tightening. Forced into a desperate retreat, the surviving members of Green Flame were funneled towards the Belgian border. Their final path to freedom was a treacherous landscape. A no-man's land secretly riddled with German mines. Every step was a gamble. The silence of the forest was now broken only by the frantic whispers of the few remaining men and the distant sounds of their pursuers. They navigated the terrain with frayed nerves, relying on fading memories of scouted paths, and a final, harrowing journey under the pale light of the moon. The last remnants of the unit made their escape. They lost more men in those final days to the hidden explosives and the exhaustion that finally claimed them. Of the dozens who had formed Operation Green Flame, only a handful survived to see their nation liberated. They emerged from the forest not as conquering heroes, but as gaunt, haunted figures, carrying the weight of the secrets they kept and the comrades they had lost. Their story was never officially recorded. Their deeds were absorbed into the larger narrative of the war, their names lost to the annals of history. They sought no medals, no recognition. Their reward was a free France. They were the silent warriors, the ghosts of the Ardennes, whose clandestine war in the shadows helped turn the tide. Their sacrifice reminds us that the most pivotal battles are not always the loudest. If this hidden story moved you, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More forgotten heroes are waiting to be remembered.